areas, it does continue to have a devastating effect on many other areas across the country.
Water, vital to life. Covering 2/3 of the Earth's surface, South Africa, a country not well endowed with this resource. The ongoing El Nino phenomena compounding matters.
This year, we have a strong El Nino, and we know from past experience that El Nino, half of the time, lead to a severe drought. And we know that 8 of the 10 worst droughts happen during El Nino.
Evident in parts of KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, the Free State, Northwest, the Northern Cape and Mpumalanga.
Due to prolonged lower than normal rainfall since the beginning of this year, drought conditions are being experienced across the country. The rainfall recorded by the Department of Water and Sanitation during the month of September till the middle of October 2015 revealed that early spring has not yielded the anticipated rainfall, resulting in worsening drought conditions. This has led to water shortage in a number of public water supply schemes and dams.
The greatest casualties are farmers. Reserve Bank figures show that they are in debt to the tune of 117 billion rand. Most of this borrowed during the first 6 months of 2015 as the drought intensified.
Production has actually decreased by 27% if you compare on a year-to-year basis. And maize, which is closer to our table, has actually decreased by 30% of production on that. Last year we produced 14.3 million tons, and this year we've only produced around about 9.9 million tons. So that's a significant impact. But farmers, of course, have lost a lot of money in there, and they are under financial strain.
The mounting debt and crop losses translated into even poorer economic growth and job losses in the sector. Staple crop maize also took a knock.
When you start to see the maize prices, the impact is there. I mean, you're looking at the white maize prices now, they are around about 67% higher than they were last year, and yellow maize 45% higher than they were last year.
In Limpopo, boreholes and rivers ran dry, resulting in a shortage of grazing land and fodder.
If we get an insurance that is subsidized, then it could help, because then we can speedily claim and get our money.
Provincial authorities declared the province a disaster area. 3 million rand was initially set aside to assist farmers with feed.
However, this amount does not cover other areas such as human consumption and other issues that our farmers may need. It is for this reason, ladies and gentlemen, that EXCO is unlocking other avenues, including the activation of the Drought Relief and Disaster Management Act of 2002. The Provincial Treasury and the National Department of Water and Sanitation will provide further assessments and inform us accordingly.
The Northwest was declared drought-stricken in June, the province's second hardest hit by the drought. By November, losses were estimated at 1.5 billion rand. 3 billion was needed to mitigate the situation. Farmers auctioned their livestock.
Yeah, I'm selling just to have a limited stock.
The auction rush saw prices plummet.
There's too much cattle at the moment, so the prices obviously dropped, so they have to sell against lower prices. And that means they can't cover the cost.
Further distribution by government brought temporary relief. Northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal were ravaged by the drought. Intermittent rains did little to improve the situation. The damage estimated at 500 million rand. 500,000 hectares of Free State grazing land also affected. Farmers also forced to sell their animals.
I had to sell 44 cows to buy fodder, which only lasts 3 months. And if it doesn't rain in the meantime, I will have to make another plan after 3 months.
The Red Meat Producers Organization says the shortage of grazing land has resulted in underweight cattle. This will lead to a red meat shortage with price hike passed on to consumers.
There is a shortage of slaughtered animals, and it will reach a peak in the Christmas time.
20 million rand was allocated to assist emerging farmers. As the drought lingered on, a heat wave hit parts of the country in November. Raising the demand for water, many taps in Gauteng ran dry. Municipalities brought in tankers. With hospitals also affected, authorities scrambled to replenish plummeting reservoir levels.
The reality is that, in fact, whilst the people in the high-lying areas are being affected, those in the low-lying areas are not taking into account the fact that we are not in a situation where we have abundant water, so to say. So whilst we receive our water in a normal way, it doesn't mean that, in fact, we're not facing challenges. But what we want to urge the people of Johannesburg to do is to help contribute towards the reduction of demand so that we're able to replenish the system.
Authorities insisted that there was no water crisis.
The drought and the issues we have in Joburg are not connected at this stage. There are other issues. And in particular, there are issues of extraordinary demand, which we have to cope with in this particular environment. There are other parts of the country where drought is a factor.
Despite some rainfall, the drought is expected to continue until March. Matlako Komane, SABC News, Johannesburg.